always wanted to be a father to my children. It was my sole goal in life. If you're only concerned about how I am at your place, then you're a monogamist. So stop trying to act like I did something wrong for 20 years. You know what? It's true. I've been in a place where I don't feel like without being in plural marriage, we can be married. So it's like, okay, well, then we got to figure out plural monogamy.
Hey friends, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Friday, September 22nd, 2023, and I hope you are having a wonderful day. Well, Kody Brown is going to try to twist the narrative yet again in his breakup with Janelle and talk about plural monogamy, which is basically what he's been doing anyway for the last 10 years that Sister Wives has been on TV. Okay, wait, no, it's been 13 years. He has been in a monogamous relationship with Robyn the entire time and pretending like he is a polygamist whilst abandoning his other wives and disproportionately spending all of his time, money, and resources on Robyn and her kids because Robyn is his best customer. Yeah. Robyn clearly told us back in the tell-all of last year that Kody loves to talk about what is wrong in his relationships, even though she pretends like she has no clue. And she, loved to remind the ladies that Kody still loved them despite their stretch marks, their weight gain, and that there were certain wives that didn't perform certain things for Kody and rejected him, affection-wise.
But this is how I've been, and I'm tired of being punished and blamed and people thinking I'm a bad person because I'm communicating.
So while Kody was getting his affection from Robyn, he left the other wives out high and dry. And now it's 2023 and the wives are like, deuces. And Kody is pretending like, I don't know why you're leaving. And in this brand new clip, Kody comes up with this ridiculous idea that he's going to try to live in polygamy, like plural monogamy.
Oh, I was a polygamist. It's all ego, baby.
Plural monogamy. You guys, in this culture, the AUB, there is no happy families. Despite what these women say on the show, and they say some families can do polygamy well, I have yet to speak to anyone that grew up in the AUB that had a positive experience from all angles, from men and women. From men that actually left polygamy that had plural wives that talk about how hard it was and how much they didn't like it. From women and kids that grew up in it that didn't either become polygamous or were plural wives that talk about the lack of resources, the lack of time, the men being extremely controlling, having no rights. So many factors here. Neglect of the kids by the fathers, welfare fraud. It's just the gamut of what happens in this culture is horrible. And unless you leave the culture, there's no benchmark for what normal is and what's abnormal. And so in that world of polygamy, what would be completely unacceptable in the wider society is just standard. And so a lot of times these people don't even know that they're being abused. And if they do know, there's nothing they can do about it. And then they can't actually realize the magnitude of what they've gone through until they extricate themselves from the system. Now, the Brown children are starting to speak out more about their experiences, but Kody and Robyn and her kids are still very ingrained in this society. Even though Kody's all, I'm not going to take any more wives, I've heard otherwise from some people around the AUB. I don't know if he's going to or not, but I've heard that he wants to go back to the church. So in the breakup, Kody is going to talk about plural monogamy, and yeah. So let's dive into today's topic. Before we do, can you please do me a big favor and give this video a thumbs up? Also, please subscribe to my channel if you have not yet subscribed by clicking on the subscribe button down below. Click on the bell so you can get notified of any time I go live or new content loads. If you have something that you'd like to say, make sure to leave a comment and share this video with your friends. So as you've seen, Kody is talking about how they need to talk about plural monogamy. Like what? Yeah. So let's continue.
Because we're not living plural marriage. We don't want to be in one home. We don't have the function to do that. Plural monogamy is where you're not functioning as one family, you're multiple families, a husband with two families. So she's not interested in reconciling with Mary, and I understand because I'm not sure Mary and I can reconcile. But she's not interested in a relationship with Robyn at all. So it'd be me at Robyn's house and then me at Janelle's house. And these two families don't interact. That's plural monogamy.
If you actually talk to people from the AUB, they will tell you that most families do not live under one roof. It's feasibly, logistically, and financially impossible. And the houses that they do live in where they have one family are usually the leaders of the church that are like, you know, harboring all the wealth or, you know, the tithing money, whatever. You know, they're the ones that have these big houses that are in like Rocky Ridge or in Eagle Mountain, wherever they are in their little compounds. And most of them do not live in one house. You speak to so many people and the wives might live on the same property, but they each have their own houses. Every relationship is supposed to be separate. So why then would they come when he's at her house, Robyn's? Why would he care about what's going on at Janelle's house? If he's at Janelle's house, why did he care about what's going on in Robyn's house? This family hasn't functioned as one family the entire time this show has been on air. They haven't lived in one house since 2010, 13 years ago. They've never lived in one house with Robyn. It's always been under his own standards, plural monogamy. And on top of that, Kody doesn't ever allow any of the women to want to have any sort of like their own relationship with him. Like they're not allowed to have their own needs and wants from an intimacy standpoint because in the world of polygamy, women don't have a right. Their job is not to be needy and greedy and want a time and attention and affection. They're just supposed to put out and shut up and stay sweet and be there and let the husband do whatever he wants. And Kody's dealing now with women that aren't going to allow him to do that anymore. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing a husband getting the final pushback of after 30 years of these wives going, I'm not doing this anymore. I actually can go and do things and have my own life. I'm not playing your games anymore. They've been in plural monogamy the entire time we've known the Brown family. I'm just saying.
Kody's the one who actually brought up the word and the term plural monogamy. And he acts like it was my idea. I mean, honestly, for the last 6 weeks, I wasn't really sure I was going to even stay. Here's what I will say. I'm not leaving. I'm not throwing in the towel. I just need to be separate while we figure this out.
Can you explain to me what's the value of the separation?
So Kody comes up with the term plural monogamy. I hope in some point in this episode, Janelle reminds the audience that it was his decision to live this way because the families have been separated the whole time. And can we remind everyone that it was Robyn a couple weeks ago that wants to be separate and doesn't want to have like connection to the family anymore? Remember that? No? So he's acting like it's Janelle that doesn't want to have anything to do with these people, but it's really Robyn that doesn't want to have anything to do with them. Mental gymnastics, pish posh, right? And Janelle's like, well, you know, I wasn't really sure if I was going to come back to you. I don't really know. All I know is that right now I need to be separated. And he's like, like he couldn't even respond. He's like shoveling in his food. He sounds like a caveman. He kind of has caveman hair. And she wants to be separated from him. And he's all like, what is the value of a separation? Like, Kody, you don't have to have a quality. It's such an informal question. Like, what is the value? She needs space. You told her that you were not going to listen to her anymore. You said, tell the whole world. I mean, Kody, come on now. Kody and Robyn love to pretend like they were not the ones that caused the storm and deflect and blame and then make them like Janelle and Christine feel like they're the ones that caused all of the problems. It's DARVO. It's deny whatever they're saying, attack whatever they're saying, and then reverse by you, the person that's the narcissist, becoming the victim and making up some excuse for the person that has the actual complaint to become the abuser, so that the person like Janelle will end up apologizing. And he has used that tactic for so many years and it's worked, but it's not working anymore for him. So now he's like resorting to like, what's the value of this? Let's continue.
Because I feel like I'm more aware of what I need when you're not there. You're there and I want to just like forget everything and just be
I'm laid back.
I know, but it's easier for me to have focus on what I need and what I need to communicate to you.
I don't get it. The punishment seems way beyond the crime. Maybe that's just a wake-up call for me. Maybe she's not interested in
I
this.
actually liked what she expressed to Kody, to be honest, because she was saying that when he's around, it's easy for her to forget about her complaints. It's easy for her to get like lost in whatever his love bombing is. So if they're having problems and say Kody is like have been a jerk, he can just like show up a week later, pretend like nothing happened, lay on and pile on the love, and then she forgets that she had this list of things that were problematic that she no longer is thinking about because he's noisy and he's being love bombing her, and he's probably, if he's not fighting with her, and she is getting wooed in by the love bombing. And she's understanding that in order for her to separate herself, she needs to have space to understand, what do I need and what do I want? When you're with someone like Kody, and they'll suffocate you so that you don't have any time or space or energy to think. Keep you off balance, he'll keep you unstable, he'll make you question your reality. And she's like, I just want space. And he's all, this punishment doesn't fit the crime. And he also called himself laid back, which made me want to laugh hysterically. But listen, Kody, you didn't send Savannah Christmas presents. You screamed and yelled at her. You screamed and yelled at her like a couple weeks ago when you were at Robyn's house. You haven't spent time with her in like 10 years. You have friend zoned her. You have made her feel like she is nothing but a friend. And really, all of this, like, why are you going to leave me, is Kody, one, doesn't want to lose here. And two, he's going to have her walk away with her money, and she's the one that does all of their financial like organization. So if he loses Janelle, he loses the person that manages their finances, that keeps them on task and makes sure that the spending is happening. And with her walking out of that, that's gone. On top of that, her income is gone. Kody doesn't need these wives anything for any reason other than their money at this point. He doesn't want a relationship with them beyond the financial benefits he receives from them. Janelle just needs a space to unravel that so she can come to a decision. And the punishment does fit the crime, and it's not for you to decide that, Kody. It's for her to decide. Kody is so controlling that even in breaking up, she's not allowed to take the steps that she wants to take without him saying the punishment doesn't fit the crime. He's like a petulant child.
Maybe she's got what she needed and she's moving on.
We need a redefinition. I still am not 100% sure we can save it.
Really?
No.
You don't think it's just going to be
No, because
like,
sometimes I'm really angry still. Like, I don't know.
He literally is pretending like Janelle is going to walk away with anything. Janelle, who lives in an apartment, she has an RV that she has a loan for, and Janelle, who has no equity in a home, she doesn't have any property other than vacant land that they all owned together. She owns a fraction of that vacant land. She has no savings. She's exhausted her 401k for this family. She has nothing, no nest egg, nothing to walk away from. She got nothing from Kody. He got everything from her. And she is finally, hopefully, waking up to how one-sided this relationship has been for the entirety of their marriage. And even here, still, she's like, and even with this separation, I'm not sure that we can come back to this. I don't know if this is going to work. And Kody's like, what? You don't think it's restorable? Kody, what have you actually done for Janelle to show that you want her to be there? Nothing. You have done nothing. You don't even call Janelle's kids your kids. Her kids are Janelle's kids. You made those children with Janelle. As far as I know, You guys had to have at least been intimate 6 times. And you created those children with her. They are not Janelle's kids. They are your children too. And you have abandoned your children. You have told Janelle that if she wants to have a relationship with her kids, she needs to throw them out and then they'll be together, because you will get Robyn to do that and she'll comply if need be. You have demanded that she be more like Robyn. You have told her she needs to be loyal. You have commanded things change in the relationship that are unwilling. But you have not done anything to show her that you're serious about getting back together. You haven't been humble. You haven't been kind. You haven't apologized. You've just allowed yourself to do one thing after another to blame her for everything. Taking no responsibility. You're blaming your lack of relationships with your kids on her, which isn't true. It's your responsibility to be a father. The irony here is that Kody in the beginning of this clip says, "I've always wanted to be a good father." It's the most hysterical thing I've ever heard. It reminds me of Jim Bob Duggar, who thinks that he's a good dad. These men have created and fostered delusional images in their own minds. They are good, upstanding fathers that love and adore their families, and yet the entire time we've watched Sister Wives, he has done nothing to prove to any of us that he's a good father or a good husband. And I would venture to say that I don't think he's a good dad to the children that Robyn has either. He might buy them things and he might do things for them. But my guess is if we could actually see the dynamics of that family, we would see that Kody is not a good father. We would probably see that Kody is not a good husband. Kody isn't capable of loving anything but himself and being there for anyone but himself. Once Robyn and the kids stop giving him the supply he wants, he's going to become vindictive and angry and cruel. If he's done it to one, he'll do it to another. They always say, like, you should look to see how someone's going to treat you versus their, like, history and how they've treated other people and what's been the pattern. We have 3 women that have had the exact same things happen to them. Pushed out, blamed, and then told they need to do something in order to win his favor again, where he's never had to do anything to try to restore their relationships. Ever. He's never had to change. He wants everyone to change for him. And that's not fair. That's actually not fair, Kody. That's actually not fair. All right, so what are your thoughts about this? And are you excited to see the whole conversation in this upcoming episode? Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.